Well, guys, this is part three. We'll call this one the teardown. So, as I had mentioned, once the car goes in the garage, it ain't coming back out till it's done. So, I've got her jacked up. I got the front sitting on jack stands as well as the back, but I just didn't take the front tires off the ground. I'll end up probably doing that when I get ready to pull the transmission. Went ahead and got the back gutted. Hopefully that's all I need to take out. No need showing you guys that part. I'm sure at this point you probably already taken the back of your car apart. And then I pulled the exhaust system out. So this is what the exhaust looked like. I have a video, I don't know, it's from a couple years ago probably, about this. I used I think it's a 2.5 inch glass pack, to try and cut down on any high frequency. And then that's a Flowmaster Super 44, I believe it is. Single in, dual out. And then I just have some dual chrome tips. I'm getting ready to put a new exhaust on this car when it's all said and done, because I don't think this will fit with the drive shaft. So I went out yesterday and got some videos of how it sounded going down the road, so that when I do the new one, we can do a comparison. So next step on this is going to be taking down, oops, sorry, I had my finger in the way, taking out all of the old suspension. Don't know how much of this I will actually video. Let me get down here, show you guys what it looks like underneath the car. Let me get my light over here. So we're gonna have to, these are the trailing arms, undo those bolts, undo the brake lines and the emergency brake. And then from there, it looks like it's just, there's 2 bolts there. Let me get this light moved around here. 2 bolts there on each side, or nuts that drop this rear subframe and then take the coilovers out. And I think that's it. Now this whole thing should drop down. I'll get this thing started. If something interesting happens that you might want to see, I'll probably stop and take a video of it. But for right now, I'm just gonna get to wrenching, and then I'll bring you back when I'm about to drop it out, once I get everything unhooked. So see you back in a few. Alright guys, well, I dropped the emergency brake cables from the little holes up there. They're laying down here on the ground now. I had to take the part of the console out to disconnect those. Went ahead and just cut the ABS wires, because the car has ABS delete on it. Got the bolts out of the trailing arms there. They're dropped down. Then I got those bolts undone, or nuts taken off. There's 2 of those. And then last but not least, I got the strut bolts off, because I'm going to drop this with the struts and all. So I have a feeling this is going to come crashing down. So I'm just slowly lowering this thing down. Probably should be doing this holding my phone, because I have a feeling it's all going to come falling forward. But I guess if it hits the ground, I don't guess it's going to hurt anything, because it's just going to fall on concrete. I'm doing this one-handed as well, so that's pretty, I guess that's pretty talented. Alright, so that side is on the ground. The other side looks like it's hanging up. Let me go check that out. Yeah, it looks like it's hung up there. Oh, I disconnected the brake lines there, and I should have vacuumed the system out. I didn't, so they were sitting there dripping, and I got a finger of a glove on there with 2 cable ties or zip ties, and then I just got it wrapped up there because it was dripping, which is nothing worse than having an oily mess. So Let me grab my pry bar so I can get this thing, let this thing just come crashing down. I don't know if that's going to get this dude off there or not. Maybe it's because it's got crooked on me. Oh well, let me set this phone down and get this thing out of here. All right, there we go. I got it dropped down. I had to raise it up just a little bit. These are the studs we're going to be reusing. I got to drill and tap the bigger ones that came off of the VR4, and then they'll screw right on top of there. Probably drop those off at the machine shop first of the week. And then under here, this is the section we're going to have to cut out. Well, I should have guessed that I couldn't pull this thing out with the coilovers or struts or whatever you want to call them. So I have to take these out. So I got to take this guy out over on the other side, and then this whole thing should slide right out. All right, there it is, removed out of the car. It's a shame that there's really no use for this thing anymore, because it's in excellent shape with like no rust or nothing on it. But the one thing that baffles me more than anything, and I'm not in automotive manufacturing, is how you can take this and it's completely designed for a front-wheel drive car, and then you have this K-frame that's designed for all-wheel drive car, but then yet you have a car that has to be built for one or the other. In my mind, I would think you would take and design the car for the K-frame, and then just take the rear diff, drive shaft, all the all-wheel drive parts off of it, and then have a front-wheel drive car. But instead, they completely redesigned the whole back half of this car to accept that. That just doesn't make any sense in my mind, but maybe it's not intended to make sense. But either way, I got this dude out of there. Now it's time to get into the car and start looking at what we gotta cut and drill out. And this is the part I'm talking about. This is going to be probably the worst part of this whole project. Is all of this needs to come out, because that guy needs to go in there. And you know, I'm gonna have to go around here and drill out all the spot welds, because really I just need this part here. It's kind of multi-layered, but I just need the lower portion of it. Like this is double walled here, but this piece, you know, you see how it's got the lines here, actually matches right here. So it's like part of the body is the same, but it's this bracket here it's spot welded all down the side, and then it's in between like the frame rail and the outer part of the car. So you have to cut this whole thing out, plus you have to cut this out back to about right here, and that's going to be the fun part, is getting this whole thing removed, because that just sits up in there and then gets welded into place. So I don't know what I'm gonna start first. I'll probably start by drilling all the spot welds out of this one and getting it separated, and then come back in here and do some marks and get to town cutting. Probably use a friction wheel and a smaller reciprocating saw will probably be my weapons of choice, and because I don't have a cutting torch. And we'll see what happens. We're going to end the video off here. I got some ideas on how I'm going to do these mounts where I may not end up using the parts that were cut out of the other car. But about ready to go away on a trip for about a week, so I wanted to get this video up to keep this series going, and when I get back I'll show you the construction phase of the rear end of this car. So hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.